we are here. Our firm is attending the fourth SIM Senegal, and we've been attending. Every time the SIM has been here in Senegal, and we find it very important for us. Basically, yes, we can say that there are some new good news, because the idea here is to make a new legislation that will be striking a balance between the interest of investors and the interest of the host state, which is Senegal. For a long time, the idea was that Senegal was not benefiting as it should do with the mining sector, and the idea is to redraft the provision of the mining code in a way that would address the interests of the state in the way that the Senegalese government or the Senegalese state may now, for instance, it is something new that you'll be finding in the new code, may enter in something like we call a joint venture. It's called PSA, Production Sharing Agreement, between the state and a company investing in the mining sector. This is something new. We have something new also. Under the previous code, we were having something like exploration permits, exploitation permit concession. There is something like an harmonization of all these concepts in order to make them more, clear and more modern. You have what they call small mining, and you have also what they call mechanized mining, and you have also a bigger structure that includes production. So these are some new amendments. You have also amendment in the tax sector, where the VAT has been reviewed for the exploration stage. These are some important amendment. The other one also that is very important is what we call contribution of the mining companies to the local communities. Now they should contribute to the development of the communities where the operations are erected. It is a contribution that should be set up when the license is granted, and every mining company that is working in an area should contribute to the development of this area. Actually, I would not say there is something like a dichotomy between the two systems. We are living in a globalized world where the different systems are interconnected. The Francophone countries, they have a legal system called civil law system, and the Anglophone countries, they have a system called common law system. There are some differences, but when you deal with international transaction, the most important principle is that parties themselves will be setting up the law that will govern their contracts. This law may be the civil law system, it may be the common law system, it may be what is called, the international standards. And more when you have some international transaction, they are driven by international standards that are known everywhere. Thank you. Geni and Kebe is a Pan-African firm. Our vision, our value are to be truly Pan-African. We have a motto in our firm which say that Africa is not a continent, for us it's home. We consider Africa as our home. So our ambition is to span everywhere in Africa and to work everywhere in Africa. We are based in Senegal, and we work with affiliate offices in 14 countries in West and Central Africa and in Mauritania as well. We have an affiliate office in Mauritius. The ambition is to develop our practice in all the regions of Africa: West, Central, East, East, North. Because Africa is a continent where you have more and more investment coming. Foreign direct investment is coming more and more in Africa, and I think that the best way to work with investors is to know the realities in Africa, to know the legal systems in Africa, to know the customs in Africa, to know the laws in Africa. And we think that a truly Pan-African firm will be one of the best or the best partner for that. This being said, we team up generally with international law firms because we rely on their expertise, we rely on their strengths, and we think that teaming up with between international law firms and regional firms is a very good approach to advise and to work with investors in the region. A lot of challenges actually, but I think that maybe if we can address one or two. I think one of the most important challenges is the fact that you have several legislations and several rules in the same region, and for me it's not a good approach. For instance, in West and Central Francophone Africa, you have a very, very important regional law called OHADA, and this law includes corporate law, security law, insolvency law, debt recovery, and it governs 17 countries. In the mining sector, you have for each jurisdiction a mining code. I have to acknowledge that in West Africa, ECOWAS and YMO are trying to have a regional approach, but so far every country has its own legislation, and this legislation aims to attract more investors, and sometimes by doing so they are weakening their interest regarding these investors, because they give them a lot in order to attract them. So if there was a common interest in working together and having the same legislation, let's say in the countries of ECOWAS, the same mining code, for instance, or the same investment code, for instance, I think that this would help a lot to boost the sector. The second challenge for me is that there is not an involvement of the local communities in the way the resources are dealt with. In a lot of those countries, the state itself will grant the permits or the licenses, and sometimes they do it without involving the local communities. Sometimes they even do it by challenging the interest of the local communities, or without giving them appropriate compensation. I think that this is something they have to look very, very closely. for us, SIM Senegal is a tremendous opportunity to meet with investors coming in Senegal, coming in the region. And these investors, when they set foot in our countries, they seek legal advice. Because one of the difference between the culture of the Anglo-Saxon investor than the Francophone investor is that Anglo-Saxon, they don't start any business without implying lawyers on that. When they set foot in the country, one of the first formality is to see who will be the lawyer with whom I'm going to work. So SIM Senegal for us is very important because it gives us this opportunity to meet with people who want to invest in the country and to interact with them and to advise them on the legal environment of the country and the region in the whole. Because SIM Senegal is now a regional meeting gathering all the countries of the sub-region of West Africa. So this is why for us it's very important. The second importance for us is that we have more and more experts coming from different backgrounds, not only in the mining sector, but in the legal sector, in tax, in transport, and working together, exchanging experiences together, addressing the same issues together, will allows us to better understand the other parts of the sector and to better understand the needs of our clients and to better serve them.